I want to talk about Little Scrappy really quickly. You guys probably don't know what Little Scrappy is. Little Scrappy is it's a rapper. We've talked about him here before. It's an American rapper, Scrappy. Scrappy was married to another rapper by the name of Bambi, who she has never had a chance to practice rapping. I'm thinking, but she's a reality TV star herself. But this is let me show you what Scrappy is so you can know what we're talking about, so you can put some face to it, right? All right, so this is Scrappy right here. That's Little Scrappy. All right, so he was married and he recently, I guess, he went through a divorce with his wife, Bambi. And they asked him a question. This is going to be a short one, we're rounding up, okay? They asked him a very simple question, and this is one of those cases where when you lie to yourself, it just backfires. Let me see here. I'm gonna play this video. Let's see. All right, so they asked him a question here.
Situationship with your ex-wife?
I don't have.
What is the situationship with your ex-wife?
I don't have an ex-wife. When I do get married, that's gonna be the first time I get married.
That's the first time you're gonna acknowledge that you get married.
Yeah.
You reborn again. You were born again.
Yeah, I was with a person that was very narcissistic and just was too much into themselves to even pour back into my cup. You know what I'm saying? So it was a lot poured, but none poured back in. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't one of the ones, man. Like I fought for where I'm at now. The peace I got now, I wish I would have always had this. I never was alone. And I'm not saying like the person was the worst person in the world. You know what I'm saying? And it was all the person's fault, because I had like a ton of shit, ton of fault. The reason why we not together anymore, but it's like at the same time I caught on to what was going on.
What is the situationship with your ex-wife?
What is the situationship with your ex-wife? That is the question. All right. Here's his answer.
I don't have an ex-wife.
I don't have an ex-wife. Let me just pretend that I live in an alternative world, and I don't have an ex-wife. What do you mean you don't have an ex-wife? Wait, let me just tell myself a lie. Let me just pretend it's a whole different thing here. All right, so on paper, he was married. He has 3 kids, I think, with this person. And let me just pretend I don't have an ex-wife. Interesting. Let's keep going.
When I do get married, that's going to be the first time I get married.
Wait. My body count is 2, not 5. The exact actual number. Well, I'm just going to erase all the other numbers. Like, who does this? Well, women will do that. That's what we expect women to do. Right? We don't. It's kind of weird for a man to say I don't have an ex-wife, because when I do get married, that will be the first one. Why? Because I say so. Right? Really? That's how that works.
That's the first time you're gonna acknowledge that you get married.
Yeah.
And then Ayokman said that's the first time you're gonna acknowledge, right? And then he goes, yeah. You just disagreed with yourself. Are you confused or something? So you are agreeing that you're just going to not acknowledge. Right? That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Do your worst.
You reborn again. You were born again.
Yeah, I was with a person that was very narcissistic.
All right, so and then he goes narcissistic. All right, why? Like, listen, I expect women to say he was so narcissistic. Like, why is a man tagging on to the narcissistic train? Like, what is going on? Let's wait. There are some women that can actually be narcissistic. So let's hear him explain it, right? I bet he's gonna explain exactly like a woman will explain it. Let's see.
And just was too much into themselves to even pour back into.
They were too much in of themselves. Okay, grandiose. The characteristics, the qualities of a narcissistic person, right? What is it? Grandiose? What's the word? Right? You guys have crammed it. You guys know it better than me. What a narcissistic, right? Sense of what's the word? Deluded sense of overly grandiose sense of self. That's what he's trying to describe it in his own dialect.
my cup. You know what I'm saying?
To fill my cup.
And so it was a lot poured, but none poured back in. You know.
He was, as far as it was concerned, it was pouring a lot. There was nothing poured back. This is supposed to be a give or take, not give. Not just give. What happened to me? What about me? What about me too? Puppy face. Do you see the puppy face?
You know what I'm saying? And I ain't one of them ones, man. Like I
ain't one of them ones. I am not one of those people.
Fought for where I'm at now. The peace I got now, I wish I would have always had this. I never.
The peace he has now, he wish he always had the peace. I'm doing translation.
Was alone, and I'm not saying like the person was the worst person in the world. You know what I'm saying? And it was all the person's fault because I had like a ton of shit, you know.
At least he acknowledged that he had a ton of faults too, right?
Ton of fault. The reason why we not together anymore, but it's like at the same time I caught on to what was going on.
At the same time, at the same time, he caught up to what was going on. Struggle. So let's just erase the past. I didn't have a wife. Why? Because that person was narcissist. Even myself. Narcissist. Scrappy is an Agbaya. Jesus Christ. That's all you have to say about this D-Love? Jesus Christ. Oh my God. It sounds very much like his name, Scrappy. He should say that nonsense in court and see how it flies before a judge. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, you have to own your story, okay? You have to own your story with your full chest. If you've been married before and you're divorced, that's not a thing of shame. It's just part of your journey, right? I'm not saying things is a thing of shame. I think he's actually actively trying to pretend like his past did not exist. You do have an ex-wife, okay? Now shout out to shout out to Lola when Lola was here with us on my last guest on this platform. She talked about she didn't like calling her husband ex, not to discard. She was extremely respectful to her ex-husband when she was saying that. She just wanted to acknowledge that we're still family. I am guessing Scrappy is doing the complete opposite. Let's scrap that whole shit. That never existed. That's basically what it was trying to do. It was doing the direct opposite of that. Crazy. Let me read some of these comments and then we'll round up. Somebody said, you got 3 kids with that woman. Grow the fuck up. Yep. That's a man who said that. He low-key act like his mama. Jesus Christ. Is that a compliment? I'm not sure. The fact the mama is Mama D, right? Anyway, Mondukes. The fact that he don't know how to say narcissistic was enough for me. I don't know how to say narcissist too. I think it's weird. Narcissistic. How many cystic? Is it cystics? Bambi was your first wife, whether you want to acknowledge it or not. He should have. Let me even see if I can find a picture of them together so we can put that on the screen here, because this man was all happy that he had Bambi as a, you know, when he was fighting his baby mother, the first baby mother. He was very happy. It seemed like he was at least trying to pretend he was happy. At least that's what it looked like. You know, let me see if I can find little Scrappy and Bambi. Yeah, but Bambi too is she's yeah, I don't know how to predict her. Okay, I found one. Just wanted to make sure I put a picture of them up so you can put some picture to it. Aha, there you go. That's what we're talking about. That's Bambi right there. Somebody said he's such a hurt woman. Jesus Christ, the shaming language, that's heavy. I think it was just trying to say, I don't have an ex, I'd rather face forward and just create a better, you know, be a better person. I think that's what it was trying to say, you know. But you know, part of what makes you a man is the scars, man. The scars is what makes you a man, that you've been through something. I know generally as a society we don't want a woman to have been through a lot, but what makes you a man is that you've been through something, especially if your bundles are involved, your children are involved. Why would you ever want to denounce that? There's only one reason. It has to be that you're not sure of yourself. I know that shortcoming as a man, that's not a good look. I get where you're coming from, but that's not a good look. You have to own that with your full chest. I don't care how many times you've done it. If you're hopeless romantic, you're getting married for the third time. Now, one thing he's been doing is he's been parading his ex, Erica, around town to make the ex-wife jealous. The first baby mother is parading her around town on social media, to make her jealous. This same moves, similar moves to Martell holds. It's not necessary. Gentlemen, you don't need to do all that. You shouldn't have time for that kind of activity. Yeah, delete all that shit. Remember that? I need that. Delete all that shit. She gave this man multiple kids. This is disrespectful. Just don't speak on her at all if you feel this way. Yeah, it's actually worse for him. It's low self-esteem at best. Somebody said, well, watch that lady rub your feet, nurture you after our accident, raise your kids. What's up? Okay, sure. Yeah, it's warm too. Narcissistic is wild. So, Scrappy, your cup was full. How's the lady going to pour? How is she going to pour into your cup with Erica and Diamond standing in front of her? Okay, so that's another rumor that he was cheating on her with and then they have this on the screen. Let me show you this. We're rounding up. That's Bambi. That's a perfect that's a perfect gif. Delete all that shit. That's why it didn't work, sir. She wasn't being acknowledged as your partner. Grow up. I hate to agree with them, bro, but this is what's going on. Demonstrated by the way he delivered that speech just now. If I have an ex-wife, I have an ex-wife. That's just what that is. It is what it is. I've got an ex-wife. That's my life. That's part of my story. It is what it is. That speaks volume if you can talk like that. If you feel that way, if that's your mindset, you're probably going to recreate even better relationships if you can own that like that. As a man in our society, in this social construct, if you can own your past like that, you will create better experiences, because obviously you're learning. But if you try to pretend like it never existed, you're also trying to delete all that shit, all the lessons too. You're basically trying to give your problem away to other people, talking about narcissistic and all this nonsense that you've heard from a therapist that you're probably miscombobulating and using wrongly. Terrible. Oh, she's just a narc. She couldn't feel what she could feel. Anytime you shut down on a person, they're narcissistic. Never mind how we got here. It's just a narc behavior. We all have narcissistic traits, and you should protect yourself if you feel unsafe. Including you two gentlemen. Sometimes you back off of a situation if it's not serving you, even if it's a temporary move. Okay? That way you don't show up after the marriage and say, I don't got no ex-wife. What do you mean? I'm not going to acknowledge her and my 3 kids. Yeah. Somebody said this is so disgusting and disrespectful to Bambi and them kids. So now all of a sudden she was just a baby mama to you. At least if you say my baby moms, right? At least if you say that, right? Maybe that will be better than I don't got no ex-wife, because that's what you're saying. He's starting to make me sick. It's not that deep. I don't really expect much from Little Scrappy. I just wanted to cover this just again as part of our lessons here. Your past is part of what makes you, gentlemen, especially you, The scars is okay. We call it scars because you've actually healed. It's not a scar, it's a wound if you don't go through healing. If you jump out to the internet street and start teaching people without going through the necessary healing, it's going to backfire. It will show up in your next relationship. And you know that you're hopeless romantic. You will just make another person's daughter collect woto for no reason. Let's get it together. Let's get it together. You're not going to pretend that life is not happening. What you need to do is acknowledge that life is happening and find the lessons. Find the lessons. Learn the game of life. Don't pretend like you're some kind of there's nothing peculiar about you. You're just like the rest of us. You will go through stuff in life, and some of those things will make you resent everything about the past. And you have to be careful with that. So while I want you to let go, I also want you to make sure you're extracting the lessons of your experience as you're going, and talk to a wise counsel. Make sure you engage wise counsel before you move forward to another situation. Talk about, when I do marry, it will be the first. What do you mean, sir? That is not true. That will never be the truth. That will continue to be a lie. And you know what happens when you tell yourself a lie, right? Yeah. It's not good. It's a bad idea. Anyway, thank you so much for being here today. Do me a favor, hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you are notified whenever we go live. We'll come back here at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Thursday, for the Prestige Happy Hour, just to chat and rub minds together. Thank you so much for everybody that engaged the chat earlier on today. I appreciate you all. Thank you to all the sponsors. I appreciate all of you. Thank you to the person who sponsored today's show, and that's Nani with the £5, a glass of wine on me. I will make sure of that. I will ensure that happens. Thank you so much. Hopefully you've been enlightened and educated. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
It's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Me love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.